Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair.
Huh? What? Oh, yeah, sure, all right.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Rapunzel. Oh, this is so stupid. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's J Mass, and I'm back again with another dope New England adventure. So, as you just saw, today we're going to be checking out an abandoned tower. That's actually the one right behind me that Rapunzel threw her luscious blonde locks from. We're actually going to be checking out this abandoned tower today. Now, this is actually an abandoned site that I've had on my radar for quite some time now. Really wanted to check it out, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys along with me. This is probably going to be a pretty brief video because this is really the only structure we're going to be checking out, but it's still a really cool one. I'm excited to take you guys along with me. So right now we are in the city of Holyoke, Massachusetts. If you don't know, Holyoke is located in western Massachusetts, right outside of the city of Springfield. And this tower is known as Scott Tower. The official name is actually the Walter Scott Memorial Tower, and it's located here in Anniversary Hill Park in Holyoke. Now, the tower was originally built in 1940 to commemorate Holyoke's 50th anniversary as a city. And it's a pretty cool thing, you know, it looks like it's made out of cobblestone or stone. It goes up pretty high, and when you climb to the top, you can see really gorgeous, expansive views of the Berkshires and of the city of Holyoke. I'm excited to show you guys that. Now, you might be wondering, why is this thing abandoned? Well, in the 1960s, Interstate 91 actually cut through the access point to get to this tower, which kind of stalled, you know, the visitation here. And by the 1970s and 1980s, this thing just fell into complete ruin, and today it's basically just a piece of graffiti art, you know what I mean? People come here, vandalize it all the time. It's a bit of a wreck, not in the best shape, you know, not in the best condition, but still, it's a really interesting abandoned site here in Holyoke. I'm excited to just get right into it, so join me as we check out abandoned Scott Tower here in Holyoke, Massachusetts. I'll give you guys more of the history as we go on. But as always, guys, my name is J Mass. If you love urban exploration, checking out abandoned sites, and exploring New England, I'm always doing that on this channel, so feel free to subscribe, or you can follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. But let's go explore and check out Scott Tower here in Holyoke, Massachusetts, aka Rapunzel's Tower. All right, guys, let's get exploring and check out the Walter Scott Memorial Tower, better known as Scott Tower, here in Holyoke, Massachusetts. And you can see the structure of this thing is pretty interesting. As I mentioned previously, it's mostly built out of stone. Looks like there's some sort of cement or mortar holding it all together. And it's a pretty interesting shape, in my opinion. You have a very circular base at the bottom with a very long tower portion at the top. And as I mentioned, you can go to the very top. That is the top right up there, accessible to all pedestrians. It's pretty cool, but the main thing about this tower is, while it is in ruins and decayed, a lot of graffiti artists come here, and you can see tons of graffiti and street art on this thing. That's basically what it serves as today, almost like a blank canvas for graffiti artists. You see it everywhere. Now, this thing has essentially been abandoned since the 1970s and 80s. And by abandoned, I just mean, you know, the city hasn't really been maintaining this thing. It's in complete ruins, but figured we could go up and check it out. Now, just a little recap. The Scott Memorial Tower was built in 1940 to commemorate Holyoke's 50th anniversary. And the name of the park this is located in is Anniversary Hill Park. This was a pretty popular tourist destination until the 1960s, when Interstate 91 cut through the access point. And one thing I'll show you is that you'll see there's actually quite a bit of roads leading up here, but it's actually not accessible to vehicles and cars. You actually have to walk up here today. Part of that is because of Interstate 91, but I also think because this thing is in such decay and ruins, they don't want a lot of traffic up here. So to get to this tower, you have to walk up manually, though it's a pretty short walk. It took me like 15 minutes or less to get up here. But let's just walk around a bit. Let's see what we got going on. Again, so much graffiti. This thing is covered to the brim. And I do have to say, while a lot of the graffiti is honestly pretty messy and forgettable, you know, scribbles, there is some cool artwork here. This is really the only like structure left behind. Oh, I don't even want to use the word structure. The only like remnant left behind, this trash can, which is also covered in graffiti, you know, completely rusted. Other than that, you know, to be honest, not too much of the base. It's just sort of a massive canvas for graffiti artists, but it's still pretty cool to walk around. Yeah, check this out, guys. Also, I do have to say Anniversary Hill Park, where I'm currently at, super gorgeous area. Even if you don't care about the tower itself, I would recommend coming here just to walk around. It's a really nice place. There's also a playground at the bottom for children. So pretty cool. Now I'm gonna grab my flashlight, and in a second, we're actually gonna head up the tower itself. Oh, what's that? I actually don't even think I really paid attention to this. Looks like almost looks like a prison cell, you know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, join me as we climb up the tower, Scott Tower. So unfortunately, one thing I do have to say is that the stairs leading up to this tower are not in great shape. A lot of them look like this, you know what I mean? The stone and the concrete is just pretty much just gone. You only have these iron bars. So the stairs are actually quite dangerous. I did go up already for that Rapunzel skit. So it is accessible, but it's just quite dangerous getting up there. And I'm gonna try to show you guys the entire way up so you see what I mean. But this is the interior. It's very narrow. Not really for the claustrophobic. And there's really not much in here, to be honest. I mean, obviously a lot of trash on the ground, but I don't know why this gate is here, because it's not like you can go super deep. Strange. Anyways, yeah, let's climb up. Just got to be careful where I put my feet. All right. And I'll try not to be super shaky with the camera as I walk up here. Oh, actually, so this is a first stop I will show you guys really briefly. This is the base of the tower, or the very first base. You can actually go up here and explore it. So this is that circular area I was showing you guys. Again, this is the tower itself, but this is that circular base area. Not really much up here. Again, just a lot of graffiti. You can see me walking around. This thing is coated in paint, but I don't know, pretty cool to walk around. Oh, one thing I do want to mention, this is actually the only recent development from Scott Tower. They actually recently made this handicap accessible, which is kind of cool, or at least it seems like they're still working on it. This path right here actually dates back to 2023, last year. So that's actually a very recent development. So I kind of hope that's a good sign that the city is now starting to look at this tower and want to do something with it. I don't know exactly, we'll see what happens, but that would be cool. Anyways, let's keep on heading up. All right, we're continuing on up Scott Tower. Now you can see a lot of the stairs aren't bad, but then you get shit like this, which I would not recommend stepping on that. I mean, that iron bar is so thin. So it's, again, super dangerous. You also get these occasional slits in the tower, which you can peer through. Get a nice view of the woods. All right, let's keep on going. And okay, so the other negative I want to mention, just because it's so overwhelming, is honestly the smell of this tower. It's not really something I complain about in my videos. It's kind of expected with abandoned spots, but if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys, this tower just smells like piss. And it's like an overwhelming waft of piss. It's actually kind of disgusting. This is, like, unironically one of the most smelly abandoned places I've ever been, which is kind of surprising. All right, I'm gonna catch my breath and give you guys the gorgeous views here at the top of Scott Tower. Try to pan through slowly. Check that out. Now this might be kind of tough to see, but right over there is the city of Holyoke itself. I don't know how well you guys can see. I will do some drone shots later, but that right over there is the city of Holyoke. All those mills down there. Holyoke was once a major paper mill destination. So you can see a lot of those mills. But most of the sites you see are the Berkshire Mountains and the forest. It's a pretty gorgeous view. Obviously a little overcast today, so not super bright and sunny, but I don't know, I kind of like it. Now that tower over there is also on Anniversary Hill Park. I think AT&T built that in the early 2000s. So that's also a pretty, well, new as in it was built this century, but that cell phone tower is relatively new. So other than that and the handicap accessible pathway, not a lot has been done with this area. But again, super gorgeous up here. This is the top. Show you one more view. And then this is down here below. Not too much. I mean, it is a pretty narrow area, but yeah, super cool. Just want to show you guys. So I think we're gonna head back down and explore a little bit more at the base. And then honestly, I think that's about it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's actually kind of depressing seeing the ruined state that this tower's in. I'm actually a really big fan of you know, these accessible observatory towers open to the public. I mean, Massachusetts alone has a lot of great ones. You know, High Rock Tower in Lynn, Poet Seat Tower in Greenfield. I love these types of towers that you can just hike up to and then walk in. You get expansive views from the top. But to see this one just in such a state of disrepair and ruin, you know, seemingly neglected by the city of Holyoke, it really is a shame, because I actually think this would make an amazing public space if they really opened it up to the public. Now, I mentioned Interstate 91 does cut through the road to get here. That's not entirely true. You know, Interstate 91 has overpasses that go over, and I think the overpasses were what turned off the city to maintaining it, but you could still open up this road to cars. I mean, just maintain it a bit. I don't think it would be that big of a project, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know, it would be nice to see this thing reopen to the public, you know, in a more official fashion. You know, maybe, I'm not necessarily even opposed to like great graffiti art, you know, maybe keep this open to graffiti artists, but, you know, eliminate the disgusting stuff. I don't know, I just think this would be a great open space if they really took care of it. But still, even checking it out in its abandoned, ruined state, it is still really cool to check out, and I'm just kind of giving you guys a perimeter walkthrough of the base. So yeah, that was the Walter Scott Memorial Tower, better known as the Scott Tower. It's a really cool abandoned site. It's a place I've wanted to check out for quite a while, and I liked it. I know this was a bit of a brief video, but it is really cool, and I think that about does it. Not too much here, but super cool place. Hey, thank you guys for joining me. I've been J-Mass as always, and this has been another dope New England adventure. So today we checked out the Scott Tower here in Holyoke, Massachusetts. Really interesting abandoned tower. Not a whole lot to see, but the history is fascinating. You know, it was built in 1940 to commemorate Holyoke's 50th anniversary here on Anniversary Hill Park. And it really only lasted a couple decades for public visitation until the 1960s, when Interstate 91 was built, kind of cutting off access for the public. By the 1970s and 1980s, this thing seriously fell into a major state of disrepair. And that's pretty much how it's been like today. I mean, it does seem like they're starting to make efforts to improve this place, but it's still a bit of a disaster, if I'm being honest. It smells like piss, trash everywhere. But I would like to see this open up in full form someday. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But I just want to take you guys along with me as we checked out Anniversary Hill Park and Scott Tower here in Holyoke. Gorgeous place. As always, guys, if you love urban exploration, checking out abandoned sites, and exploring New England, I'm always doing that on the channel. Or you can follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. One quick thing I want to throw out there. On May 15th, I'm doing a Q&A video. I already have a bunch of questions I'm going to answer. If you have any questions you want answered, drop them down below in the comments. I'm just going to heart them for now, but I will answer them in that video on May 15th. And the final thing I want to end off with is some drone shots. I'm going to bring out my drone, you know, get some amazing footage of Scott Tower and the Holyoke area, and I end off the video with that. So enjoy the incoming drone shots, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.